with the पहले थोड़ा सा theoretical part, ठीक है. Remember P5 is mostly it's mostly related to your practicals, लेकिन you need to know a lot of very tiny details about this. So I'm going to focus on titration first. Okay, now you have already studied titration. There's nothing new. Okay, you're not going to study anything new. Remember, okay, when you have P5, so P5 के अंदर अच्छा P5 के अंदर there's not much new. There could be a new experiment, a completely different thing. Most of the questions are related to your common sense and your understanding of how to use laboratory apparatus. और कुछ standard techniques होती हैं which you probably already know, but जो आप lab में use करते थे, you never wrote them down, ठीक है, लेकिन they were very obvious techniques. अच्छा, so titration. The first thing is I'm going to just give you a brief overview of titration. What happens in titration? There must be a burette over here. ठीक है, let me. ठीक है, this over here is a burette. That's a standard laboratory apparatus that is used for titration. अच्छा, burette के अंदर you add a particular. अच्छा, मैं बिल्कुल basic से start करूँगा. So this is your burette, and your burette can hold a maximum of 50 cm cube of liquid. You get the normal ones. Remember these volumes. They're not fixed. Uh, but they are smaller burettes available as well. There are 10 cm cube burettes as well. There are 100 cm cube burettes available as well. Common jar, that's 50 cm cube that you usually see in your lab. As you start off with your burette, so what does a burette do? A burette has this tap at the bottom, and liquid pours off drop by drop. You fill it up, it pours off drop by drop. Why does it pour off drop by drop? To improve accuracy. क्योंकि you always titration का मतलब ही ये होता है कि you always use titration when you're not sure कि how much liquid needs to be added. So you have a 50 cm cube burette. Drop by drop liquid is poured off uh, into another reagent. ठीक है, and that reagent is usually in a conical flask. So there's always a conical flask that is present at the bottom. ठीक है, so there's reagent 1 at the top, and there's another reagent that's in the conical flask that's added, and that's reagent number 2. Reagent 1 का नहीं पता होता कि what quantity has to be added, so the tap is turned on and off frequently. अच्छा, 50 cm cube burette is capable of measuring any volume. ठीक है, any volume accurate to 2 cm to 2 decimal places. So measures. It's capable of measuring any volume within that range and up to 2 decimal places. ठीक है, that's the normal accuracy of a burette. I said, remember, burette graduations are up to 1 decimal places actually. ठीक है, so how do you go up to 2 decimal places? Because if you have a close-up view of a burette, so there's the readings would actually be up to 1 decimal place. For example, there's going to be 21 point. I said there's going to be 21.1 cm cube. And there's going to be next to graduation hogi, that's going to be 21.2 cm cube. Okay, and so on. So the graduations are 0.1 centimeter cube apart most of the time. ठीक है, normal laboratory apparatus, that's 0.1 cm cube. So how is it accurate up to 2 decimal places? Because the readings always have an uncertainty. ठीक है, the uncertainty in a Burette reading is, how do you calculate the uncertainty? The uncertainty is usually measured as the smallest graduation divided by 2. So it's the smallest graduation that's, or the smallest reading, and you divide that by 2. That is always the uncertainty in any apparatus that you use. Okay, if it's for measurement, you take the smallest, जो भी उसमें, if it's a thermometer, you take the smallest difference in वो जो graduation होगी, and you divide that by 2. That's going to be the accuracy. So if you're getting a reading at 21.1 cm cube, so if you're getting a reading at 21.1 cm cube, तो उसका मतलब है it's going to be smallest graduation divided by 2. 21.1 cm cube, it's going to be divided by 2. The smallest, it's going to be 0.05 cm cube. ठीक है, 0.1 was the smallest, so that's your uncertainty in the reading. Because the thing is, if a value is close to 21.1, that doesn't mean it's going to be exactly 21.1. It could be slightly greater than 21.1 or slightly lesser than 21.1. So there's going to be some error in the reading. It's going to be plus minus 0.05. ठीक है, मतलब half तक आप जा सकते हो. If I sketch a line over here, so any value, any reading that's above that, that's closest to 21.1. Any reading that's close to 21.2, नीचे आ जाएगा, that's going to be 21.2. So 21.1 पे अगर reading आ रही है या फिर 21.2 पे reading आ रही है, that doesn't mean कि it's actually going to be exactly going to be 21.2. हो सकता है कि it's slightly higher than 21.2, or it might be slightly, very slightly lower than 21.2. One of the readings that you can actually measure is the halfway point. If the reading is exactly in the middle and there is no graduation, like you're sure that the reading is right between two graduations, so for that reading, for example, this reading over here, इसको ना आप 21.1 consider करोगे, ना 21.2 consider करोगे. If it's right in the middle, so that could be called as 21.15. ठीक है, so this, तो middle में आप ले सकते हो. So that can be called as 21.15 cm cube with obviously an accuracy of plus minus 0.05 cm cube. Sorry. Just an accuracy of plus minus 0.05 cm cube. So मैं फिर से just a quick recap. Burette में every reading has a 0.1 cm cube difference. Every graduation has a 0.1 cm cube difference, which is why if a reading reads 21.1, that doesn't mean it's exactly at 21.1. It just means that the value is very close to 21.1 within uncertainty of this. ठीक है, not the uncertainty तो probably percentages में होती है. This is the error in the reading. It could be within this range. And so the next thing about this is, how do you take a Burette reading? You measure now this one is very obvious, you already know this. You measure the lower meniscus. So you always take the lower meniscus for colorless liquids or transparent liquids. ठीक है, you must have seen, बल्कि गूगल करके lower meniscus शो कर लेते हैं. Let me, ठीक है, hopefully everyone knows this. Let me share this tab. ठीक है, so this over here, if you can see the screen, this over here is, remember, if it's a colorless liquid, so you're going to see lots of, but at the end is going to be the liquid would be rising from the sides. It's usually sticking to the surface on the sides. So the reading that's taken is the lower meniscus. It's always the lower meniscus. And so your bottom bridge line in, that's the reading that you're going to take. And you're going to follow this. Upper meniscus would be used if the liquid is colorless. For example, over here, or Ramesha, it has to be, you have to be, your eyes should be level with the lower meniscus to reduce error. The upper meniscus, let me just quickly Google this. That's enough for a colored liquid like this KMNO4 solution. The lower meniscus is not visible. So it's going to be the upper meniscus. That's the only part that you would be, because the lower meniscus isn't even available. So it's not visible. So you're going to use the upper meniscus in that case. Okay, so let's get back. इसको लिख लेते हैं बस lower meniscus for colorless liquids. And you're going to use upper meniscus for colored liquids. So now that's all about the burette. Now, one very important thing about burettes is how do you take the reading? And now the way you're going to take the reading is, when you have a burette, the burette would be initially filled to a certain point. Okay, now when you're trying to fill a burette, it's not important that the burette is filled to the starting point. I mean, there's probably a 0 cm3 mark right at the top. Okay, so you don't actually have to fill it till that mark. Uh, but it's better to actually fill it as much as possible, because when you're doing titration, you don't want to run out of reagent one. Okay, so the reagent one, so there has to be enough reagent. So make sure every time you do titration, the burette is filled, but not necessarily till the 0 cm3 mark. ठीक है, it's going to take a very it's going to waste a lot of time अगर आप उसको ना 0 cm3 mark के ऊपर set कर रहे हो. So that's never a requirement. तो इसको हम, अच्छा इस पॉइंट को हम ऐड कर लेते हैं कि before titration make sure the burette is filled. अच्छा, is filled up to, and usually what happens is rough titrations are done to estimate how much volume is required. That's a volume of reagent that would actually be needed. So you need so before titration, you make sure the burette is filled, and rough titration. So you must have an estimate, and not necessarily up to the 0 cm3 mark. That is definitely not a requirement. Okay. You might be asked, okay, why is someone not filling it up to the 0 cm3 mark? Because it's going to waste a lot of time. Okay, so it's मतलब perfect हो अगर 0 cm3 mark के ऊपर वो fill हो जाए, लेकिन it's eventually going to waste a lot of your time. Uh, अच्छा, how are tables made when you have a burette and you're using a burette? So when you do a titration, initially top पे कहीं किसी level तक fill हुआ होगा, ठीक है? You open the tap and the level of the liquid drops. So ये drop measure करना होता है. That's the amount that has been added. So this is your initial reading. And this one is your final reading. Okay, you've done this in O levels as well, in AS, in practicals as well. So the table is going to be something like this. Okay, it's going to be initial Burette reading, and with that slash CM cube, you have to write down the units as well. Then you have your final Burette reading, or just 1 second. That's a final Burette reading. That's going to be slash CM cube as well, और end में फिर आप लिखोगे कि the volume of whatever reagent, that's volume of reagent XYZ added. That is going to be the difference in the two readings. And when you're doing a titration, you're going to take, I say usually, how do you take the readings, and how many experiments are done to get those readings? Again, you must be familiar with what you used to do in your lab. I said there's no limit to the number of readings that you should take. The limit is the minimum limit. Maximum limit doesn't really matter. You can be more accurate. Actually, Cambridge cuts marks for that. If you do more titrations. I say usually there's going to be, let me add another box. I said this one. I said so you have your rough titration. That's the first one. रफ का सिर्फ ये काम है कि एस्टिमेट लगाना कि ब्यूरेट के अंदर इतना कितना लिक्विड ऐड करना चाहिए मतलब a lot of times like if you do the first iteration and let's say 10 cm cube was only required, you don't need to fill it up, you just continue with that. Agni titration means you start at the next point, so you're not going to waste time filling or refilling the burette. So you have your in मतलब एक rough titration यहाँ पे नहीं लिखा होगा, इसके टॉप पे लिखा होगा. So the first one is the rough titration, then there's experiment 1, and then there's experiment 2 and experiment 3. Each time the values have to be written, every time the values have to be, remember accuracy was 2 decimal places, so the values have to be written accurate up to 2 decimal places. Okay, so it's always going to be 2 decimal places. And then out of having these multiple titrations, rough titration is usually not accurate, but it could be considered if you probably did this very accurately. But most of the time, remember the rough titration is the rough one. It's never going to be accurate. वो बस लोग क्या करते हैं कि they do the first titration very very accurately. So the rough titration is not going to be considered. Even health scanner, you're not actually taking the values. Values probably given only might be given pictures. It's O levels ATP had these images of burettes, and you had to take down the readings. Now you're going to do experiments 3 times. Now, why is the experiment repeated? That's the first question. Now, there are two reasons why experiments are always repeated. Number one, first reason is the reliability of the results. What does that mean? If you got a value, let's say you got a very accurate value the first time, you, is that value repeatable? You need to be sure, okay, there's no anomalous error in that. It's not an anomalous value. There are no errors in it. If the value keeps on repeating every time, that indicates that the results are reliable, and your values are probably accurate. Just once. अच्छा, रिलायबल के ऊपर कमेंट कर लें कि रिपीटेबल वैल्यूज अच्छा repeatable values indicate consistency. माइक में खास ऑन है ये किसका माइक ऑन है अच्छा coming back to this repeatable values indicate consistency that's the first thing and the second thing is if you have multiple values averaging improves accuracy so the first thing is remember reliability does not indicate कि the values are actually accurate हो सकता है कि आपके apparatus के अंदर there's an error that's not going away तो जो repeatable values होती हैं they just indicate कि whatever you're doing मतलब आपका human error या कोई random error बीच में involved नहीं है ठीक है apparatus के अंदर if there's an error that error is not going to go away ठीक है for example burette जो है ना तो खराब है उसका 1 cm cube inaccurate है मतलब let's say it has an inaccuracy of 1 cm cube now all your values would always be inaccurate ठीक है but reliability just means that your results are consistent I mean with whatever tools that you're given you're doing a good job so that is what is indicated by reliability and averaging helps to remove वो जो tiny random errors होंगे it's going to help to remove that कि अगर let's say एक दफा 9.8 सीम क्यूब आ रहा है दूसरी दफा 10.2 आ रहा है तो एक तो कंसिस्टेंसी है कि एवरी टाइम यू गेटिंग द सेम वैल्यू तो और अराउंड अबाउट द सेम वैल्यू which would indicate कि हाँ ठीक है it's going to be close to 10 and anomalous values repeatable values में ना anomalous values can be removed they can be removed ठीक है you can spot an anomalous value so for example you're getting 9.8 then 10.2 and then you all of a sudden you're getting 14.1 and then you're getting 9.9 so automatically you can figure out okay this one is not a repeatable value it's not a reliable value and you're going to get rid of that ठीक है अब फिर next task है कि when you take the average of the best results so not average of all the values you always average the best results so titration के the best results are the ones that are 0.1 cm cube apart so for example in these values you're going to take out the average of but you're going to ignore 10.2 9.9 and 9.8 you're going to take them and you're going to average them ठीक है so you keep on doing titrations experiment 1 experiment 2 experiment 3 So you get to this point where you have two values that are 0.1 cm cube apart, and then you take the average of these values. अच्छा, most of this you're already familiar with, ठीक है? Practicals के अंदर ये चीजें सारी you did all of this, लेकिन उसके ऊपर question नहीं कोई पूछता था. अब बस इशू ये होगा कि because it's not you're not actually performing the practicals, तो वो इस तरह के questions ना ज़्यादा पूछेंगे कि क्योंकि आधा काम तो 90% काम जो है वो तो आपने करना ही नहीं है, वो तो उसने खुद ही दे दिया होगा डेटा. तो इस तरह की ना छोटी छोटी बातें ना P5 के अंदर it's going to keep on asking that, ठीक है? Random things about the experiment. Uh, so that is probably enough for the first part, which is the burette. Then you have your flask. So now the standard practice is कि flask में कितना add करना है 25 cm cube. ठीक है, it's 25 cm cube of reagent is measured, and how is it measured? Reagent 2 is measured accurately using a pipette. So using a pipette, you add 25 cm cube of reagent 2, and the pipette is a very accurate device. What's the device? It's beach, I think it's cylindrical, and okay, different types of pipettes आते हैं. It has this hollow space in the middle, and at the end there is a pipette filler. ठीक है, so there's this rubber pipette filler. फिर यहाँ पे diagram में there must be a much better pipette. ठीक है, ये normal शक्ल का pipette है. So volumetric pipette. अच्छा, now your pipette has no graduations. It only has this one mark which is very accurate, 25 cm cube. Is tak pahunch gaya, that's a very accurate mark. Now the thing with the pipette is first thing, this is your pipette filler. And it's a suction device. And it's a safety item. I mean, whatever liquid इसको थोड़ा सा let's circle. अच्छा, so it's a suction device, and the liquid would be, it's going to be taken up, and this entire pipette would eventually be filled by a liquid. You're going to add it in a solution, and you're going to fill it up, and exactly 25 cm cube is going to be filled. So this helps prevent spillage. And so the liquid doesn't fall on your hands. So it prevents spillage. Pipette को use करने का जो method है ना, that is कि अच्छा, इन दोनों apparatus में ना there's a few things that need to be done, and that is कि दोनों के अंदर, burette के अंदर, in the burette and for the pipette as well. इनकी जो washing है, how would you wash them? Because remember कि you don't want water inside, because if water is added, तो वो जो reagent add होगा उसका volume कम हो जाएगा. Let's say there's 1 cm cube of water that's already in the burette, pipette. You've washed it. And there's 1 cm cube of the reagent that's already in this particular pipette. So आप करोगे क्या? How would you get rid of the 1 cm cube of water? When you're doing an experiment, you can't really dry it from the inside. And the same is true for the burette as well. Let's say there's 1 cm cube of liquid which आपने wash किया, and the burette is already having liquid water molecules around it, उसकी surface के साथ. अब अंदर से तो ड्राई नहीं कर सकते, बाहर से तो ड्राई कर लो. And how will you dry it from the inside? So you can't get rid of that water. So what's the way of actually keeping water from entering the solution, and that would disturb. मतलब अगर 1 cm water यहाँ पे पहले ही होगा तो आपकी रीडिंग 25 cm cube नहीं होगी. मतलब you would think you're measuring 25 cm cube, but you would actually be measuring 24 cm cube, क्योंकि बीच में तो 1 cm cube water पहले ही आया हुआ है. तो एक जो चीज है वो ये कि how are burettes and pipettes how are burettes and pipettes washed? And you have to be very careful. So they're first washed with water or whatever thing that you're using, mostly distilled water. ठीक है. So wash them with distilled water thoroughly. And then there's one thing that you're going to do, कि you're going to wash it with the reagent. For example, अगर इसके अंदर ना reagent number 2 डालना है ना pipette के अंदर, और उसको ट्रांसफर करना है, तो मेक श्योर यू टॉप से ना यू ऐड अ reagent number 2 inside it, ताकि the water gets washed away and the surface already has reagent 2. यानी that basically means that all the water was a 1 cm cube water that's going to be removed, and the surface of the pipette from the inside would already have reagent 2 on the surface. So it's not going to be a contamination क्योंकि reagent 2 ही तो fill करना था इसमें. And the same goes for the burette as well. Like if you want to fill the burette with reagent number 1 and there's still some water droplets inside the burette, what you're going to do is pour a little bit of reagent 1 from the top and नीचे से bottom से ना एक उसको sink के अंदर ना remove कर लो. So the reagent number 1 उसकी surface को ना coat कर देगा. So your burette would be contaminated by reagent 1, but that doesn't matter क्योंकि उसके अंदर reagent 1 ही add करना था. So how are burettes and pipettes washed? Wash them with water and distilled water thoroughly. And then rinse them with a little bit of of the reagent that was supposed to be added. That was supposed to be added. Yeah, the Claire, any questions about this? Taha, Claire, Zebina, Adina.
जी सर, जी सर क्लियर है.
अच्छा ठीक है. मैं बस ये छोटी छोटी बातें क्योंकि सारी कंप्लीटली जो पिछला P3 के प्रैक्टिकल्स होते थे उसमें ज्यादातर बातें इररिलेवेंट होती थी क्योंकि you never got it, क्योंकि उसके अंदर actually आप you had to actually perform it. ठीक है. बहुत सारे मार्क्स ना परफॉर्म करने के, टेबल्स बनाने के, इसके अंदर उसके मार्क्स ऑब्वियसली P5 के में नहीं होंगे. तो इस तरह की ना जो छोटी छोटी बातें होंगी ना, डिटेल्स, उनके ऊपर ज्यादा मार्क्स होंगे. अच्छा अच्छा वन थिंग जिसको ड्राई करने की जरूरत नहीं है, एंड यू माइट बी आस्क्ड दिस क्वेश्चन, ये जो फ्लास्क है इट डजंट रियली मैटर. अच्छा इसका मैं बता दूं कि वो इसके ऊपर ना ये जो पिपेट फिलर होता है, आप सोल्यूशन को फिल अप करते हो और फिर उसके अंदर ना ड्रॉप कर देते हो लाइक अ ड्रॉपर. उसका ई का बटन होता है, वो आप दबाते हो. द अदर थिंग इज के द फ्लास्क, इस फ्लास्क को ना इसके अंदर बेशक पानी चला जाए, इट वुड नॉट मैटर. ठीक है. सो ओवर हियर दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट, डजंट मैटर. जबकि इस फ्लास्क को ना एक्चुअली आप ड्राई कर सकते हो. So it doesn't matter if the flask already has some water in it. So the reason or isn't dried properly. बाकी दोनों से ना, if they are not dried properly या फिर if you haven't gotten rid of the water that's inside them, उनकी वजह से ना एक्यूरेसी में फर्क पड़ेगा. फ्लास्क को ड्राई करो ना करो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. रीजन इज कि once you transfer reagent X की बजाय ना ये reagent 1 और उसकी जगह कोई actually reagent ले लेते हैं. मतलब मैं कर लेता हूँ उसको HCl कर लेता हूँ. ठीक है, तो और reagent 2 जो है ना वो NaOH है. ठीक है, तो चलो लेट्स से एक्चुअल कोई reagent ले लिया. अच्छा, NaOH को ना जब यहाँ से ट्रांसफर करोगे ना यहाँ पे इस फ्लास्क के अंदर, पिपेट को खाली करोगे, you'll put the NaOH into this conical flask. अब इसके अंदर पानी हो या ना हो, आपका जो मोल्स ऑफ NaOH है ना उस पर कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. लेट्स से इसके अंदर ना there are 2.5 moles of NaOH in this. तो जब ये आप उधर जाके रिलीज करोगे तो वहां पे फ्लास्क के अंदर कितने मोल्स आएंगे? 2.5 मोल्स ही आएंगे. वो बेशक बीच में इसकी साइडों पे ना एक्स्ट्रा वाटर लगा हुआ था, आपने फ्लास्क को ड्राई नहीं किया होता, दैट डजंट मैटर, योर मोल्स आर स्टिल 2.5. So the extra water but if your conical flask is not dry enough, it's not going to matter. It's मतलब आपके moles of NaOH तो change होंगे नहीं. और फिर ऊपर से जब HCl डालोगे तो HCl के मोल्स भी चेंज नहीं होंगे. ऊपर से जो क्वांटिटी ऑफ HCl डलेगी वो वाटर के साथ तो रिएक्ट कर नहीं रही. इट्स रिएक्टिंग विद द 2.5 मोल्स ऑफ NaOH. तो जो क्वांटिटी ऑफ HCl which would fall into the flask, that would also remain the same, क्योंकि मोल्स उतने ही रिक्वायर्ड होंगे ना. So the water over here is not doing anything. लेकिन यहाँ पे वाटर मैटर कर रहा है क्योंकि वो NaOH की क्वांटिटी चेंज कर देगा. मतलब अगर आपने 2.5 मोल्स ऐड करने थे ना, लेट्स से फ्लास्क जो था ना वो wasn't dried properly or had water in it, तो sorry, this pipette wasn't dried properly and had water in it, तो NaOH के मोल्स चेंज हो जाएंगे. क्योंकि जब आप 25 cm क्यूब फिल अप करोगे और बीच में 2 cm क्यूब ना वो पानी साइडों पे लगा हुआ है, तो so effectively you're just filling it with 23 cm cube of NaOH, which means your moles are going to be lesser. तो यहाँ पे फर्क पड़ेगा. ब्यूरेट में भी फर्क पड़ेगा, उसके वॉल्यूम में फर्क पड़ेगा. कि अगर ब्यूरेट अंदर से ना there's going to be water in it, तो ब्यूरेट डाइल्यूट हो जाएगा because of the water. तो आपको ज्यादा dilute solution ज्यादा ऐड करना पड़ेगा. the volume of the HCl that's being added would change. लेकिन अगर इस पे पानी होगा, that would not have any effect, क्योंकि the moles of NaOH that are being transferred from the flask, they're the same. बीच में साइडों पे वाटर लगा हुआ है, doesn't really affect the moles. और ऊपर से जो HCl required होगा to neutralize those moles, they would also remain exactly the same. So same amount of HCl डालना पड़ेगा. तो इसके अंदर ना the water, having some water doesn't matter if the flask is already has some water in it or isn't dried properly. Why? Because the moles of NaOH that are added that are added from the pipette, or the moles of HCl added from the burette, they don't change. ठीक है, तो फ्लास्क में जो पानी होगा ना वो बस एज अ स्पेक्टेटर देख रहा होगा रिएक्शन होते हुए, क्योंकि NaOH की क्वांटिटी यहाँ से आ रही है, HCl ऊपर से आ रहा है. इधर तो खाली रिएक्शन हो रहा है, सो इट डजंट मैटर वो पानी पड़ा हुआ है नहीं पड़ा हुआ, वो तो वैसे ही उसका कोई रोल ही नहीं है. It would not change the amount of HCl being added or the amount of NaOH that's being added into the conical flask. अच्छा, फिर ये कि again something about how do you know कि titration, how do you stop a titration? The titration stops when all titrations, they stop when there is a color change. Now there are all sorts of titrations. Okay, let's. As a titrations, they stop. So when there is a color change. Now there are 2-3 different types of titrations. Number one is the acid-base titration. That's the easiest. उसके अंदर indicators होते हैं. So you have this. This is the first one. You have a burette, and there's your flask. It doesn't matter कि आप acid top पे लो, bottom पे लो, और base नीचे लो, ठीक है? Or it could be the other way around. End result is जो भी drops आप add करो ना, आप उसका volume check करो. What volume is going to be added? अच्छा, acid base में there are going to be indicators which would be some common indicators of phenolphthalein. And then you have methyl orange. These are the two common ones. Liquid solution, etc. They're not used as indicators. Phenolphthalein is pink or purple in basic conditions, and it's colorless in acidic. And methyl orange, on the other hand, is orange. ये yellow कर लो in इसमें खैर orange red होता है in acidic and yellow in basic conditions. ठीक है, so this one is acidic and this one over here is basic conditions. तो इन दो को याद कर लो तो बेहतर है. Otherwise, I haven't seen कि most of the time it's already actually the color changes are already given. लेकिन ये दो तो वैसे ही by default you must remember them. अच्छा, how would you figure out the color change? For example, there's a base over here, and there's अच्छा, remember the indicator is always added into the conical flask. ठीक है, so that should be obvious as well. It's always added here. तो अगर phenolphthalein ऐड करोगे basic है, so it's going to be pink. और ऊपर से drop by drop acid डलेगा. Eventually the base you'll run out of base. The base base खत्म हो जाएगी. And if the base you're out of base, acid ऊपर से डलेगा, the solution would become acidic, and the color would change to colorless. ठीक है, तो फिर से मैं रिपीट कर रहा हूँ. If there is base over here, indicator इस पे डला हुआ है, तो और phenolphthalein डाला हुआ है, so it's going to be colorless. Sorry, pink, क्योंकि basic है. Acid ऊपर से डालोगे, the acid would neutralize the base. Eventually, it's going to neutralize the base. और फिर जब आखिरी molecule भी base का खत्म हो जाएगा, if you add a few more drops of acid, the solution turns acidic and the color would become colorless. अगर methyl orange होता तो methyl orange would be, in this case, शुरू में base है, so it's going to be yellow. And then it's going to change to orange red. Now the color change is very, very abrupt. So you have to be very slow with this tab over here. You have to do the titration very, very, very slowly, because the color changes are always very abrupt, and it has to be a permanent color. क्योंकि color change बहुत पहले आना शुरू हो जाती है, but it's not permanent. So remember, अच्छा, ये जो आपकी values हैं, just 1 second, it's as a titration is done very slowly. towards the end point. This point is also known as the equivalence point. ये अभी हम equilibrium पढ़ रहे हैं, उसके अंदर we'll talk about the equivalence point. Equivalence point का मतलब है जब वो required necessary moles have been added. When the required amount of moles, for example, NaOH और HCl जो है ना वो आपस में 1:1 में react करते हैं, तो if there are 10 moles of NaOH in the flask, so there should be 10 moles of HCl that should be added from the top as well. So that's known as the equivalence point. ठीक है, when the required moles have been they have been added. So when the required moles have been added, that's your equivalence point. And color changes are abrupt. And it has to be a permanent color change. Okay, so it has to be a permanent color change. तो ये सारी चीजों का ना ख्याल रखना है. That's the first type of titration. Then there are other types of titrations, which are redox titration. This is an acid-base titration, so you can have redox titrations. अच्छा, redox titration में क्या होता है कि there's obviously an oxidizing agent. The most common one that's used. इसको ऊपर कर ले. अच्छा, now the most common one that's used is KMNO4. ठीक है, even in your practicals, the most common titration when you're doing redox titration. अच्छा, remember आपको कोई भी question आ सकता है. It's not necessary कि KMNO4 आए. But redox titration के अंदर mostly it's KMNO4. And so this is your oxidizing agent. And it's reacting with some other reagent, which is the other thing, which is the reducing agent. ठीक है, it could be anything. ठीक है, but the most common one is कि ऊपर burette के अंदर ना KMNO4 added होगा. Usually, I've never seen the opposite happening. KMNO4 is added in the flask, and the reducing agent is at the top. So the KMNO4 is usually in the burette. What is the color change of the KMNO4? Is case mein, how would you figure out now KMNO4 when it reacts, it changes from purple to it changes from purple to colorless. That is what happens when KMNO4 reacts. So KMNO4 purple drop is going into the solution. Immediately क्या होगा? It's going to change colorless. ठीक है, it's going to immediately change colorless. So the flask. So whenever KMNO4 drops, a drop falls into the conical flask, reacts with the reducing agent, it changes to colorless. And तो इसका मतलब है जब तक titration चल रही है वो colorless होता जाएगा. And at a certain point, when you run out of the reducing agent, KMNO4 नीचे जाएगा, it's going to remain purple. So that indicates कि ये reducing agent ना खत्म हो चुका है, it has reacted. Now you should stop the burette. ठीक है, you should turn off this tap over here. तो इसमें होता है कि end point. Initially, KMNO4 keeps turning colorless. Actually, colorless नहीं होता, very slight pink होता है. Lekin because the concentration is so less, you see it as colorless. So initially, KMNO4 keeps turning colorless, and once the reducing agent gets used up, so once the reducing agent gets used up, it it remains purple. So KMnO4 remains. As KMnO4 remains purple. So that is your endpoint. So the solution at the bottom, the flask, in the bottom flask, it would start turning purple. That indicates that the titration is over. शुरू में जो भी drop डालेगा, it's going to turn colorless. But once the reaction is over, drop डालेगा, it's going to remain purple. So that indicates the titration is over. I said then there is K2Cr2O7 used as well. That's also an oxidizing agent, but it's इसके साथ बड़े मसले होंगे. Okay, it's the first thing is it's not a very strong KMnO4. Remember, is a very powerful oxidizing agent. K2Cr2O7 is not a very powerful oxidizing agent, or most of the time heating is required. So not very powerful, and some sort of heating is required. तो इसके अंदर ना प्रॉब्ली ये होता है कि ये जो कॉनिकल फ्लास्क होता है ना, दैट्स एडेड इनटू अ वाटर बाथ ताकि वो नीचे से हीटेड रहे. So your conical flask is put in a as it's put in a water bath so that this solution and the mixture remains heated, and that's K2Cr2O7. Then there's another type of titration which is your idiometric titration. उसके अंदर होता है आयोडीन होता है, और आयोडीन का मसला होता है उसमें फिर starch add करनी पड़ती है. You don't need to know the background. You might get a question on this. खास तौर पे ना a lot of times वो सारी डिटेल उन्होंने खुद ही दी हुई होगी, ठीक है, लेकिन वो बिफोर एंड थोड़ी familiarity हो तो it's easier to interpret the question. So in idiometric titrations, अच्छा इक्वेशंस इसकी एक आध इक्वेशन वगैरह लेट मी जस्ट गूगल इट, वो मैं दिखा देता हूँ. अच्छा ये मैं शेयर करूँ. अच्छा this one. Just as an example, look at these reactions involving iodine, ठीक है. So बल्कि first वाले को ही देख लो. So there's copper 2 plus and it's reacting with I minus 1. तो आप इन दोनों को titrate कर रहे होगे, and there would be iodine that would be formed in this reaction, or iodine might be getting used up in the reaction. तो इसके अंदर how do you detect, मैं बस इतना add करूँगा, how do you detect the presence of iodine in a titration? You add starch. ठीक है, इसके अंदर iodine, in these titrations there's going to be a reaction in which iodine is either produced or gets used up. ठीक है, for example, uh, there's a reaction that's happening, and So for example, there's a reaction that's happening and you have your conical flask over here and there is iodine molecules over here. As a slowly drop by drop, the reaction is taking place and the iodine is getting used up. And let's say that in this reaction, iodine gets converted into I minus 1. Okay, so how would you know that all the iodine has reacted? Now, there are two stages to this titration, especially the ones that involve iodine. ये मैंने spelling गलत लिखे. This is ठीक है. This is iodometric. अच्छा, so in this titration, if you get a question on this, तो एक random reaction होगा, iodine might be getting used up or it might be formed. So let's assume that iodine is getting used up. So the end result would be कि once all the iodine is gone, once all the iodine has been converted into I minus 1, that is the point when the titration needs to be, that is the point when the titration needs to be stopped. How would you figure out? अब इसकी दो stages. The first thing is, initially iodine would be in large quantity. So when iodine is in solution and it's in large quantity, so initially, right at the beginning, initially the solution appears yellow or brown. As so it appears yellow or brown. Sorry, my tab. I'm not sharing the tab. Okay, now I'm sharing the tab. मैं फिर से repeat कर देता हूँ. We're talking about iodometric titration, and I told you that there could be any reaction, any random reaction, in which iodine is either getting produced or getting consumed. So if there's iodine in the flask and you're doing a reaction and iodine is getting converted into I minus 1, it's getting used up. तो तो उसमें मैंने stop कब करना है when all the iodine has reacted. So how do you detect the presence of iodine? Initially, the solution is yellow or brown because iodine is present. And then it goes to colorless. Achha, lekin it's not becoming colorless because you have all the iodine has reacted. It's only becoming colorless because there's lesser iodine now. So there's lesser iodine, तो वो colorless हो जाता है. अब आपको लगता है कि जी color change हो गई है, but अभी भी इसके अंदर ना there might be iodine molecules still present and tap off नहीं करना चाहिए. More of this reagent should be added so that all of the iodine reacts. अच्छा, at this point, once the iodine concentration decreases and to a normal person it appears colorless, इस point के ऊपर you have to add starch indicator. ठीक है, starch indicator जो है वो it turns blue. So your starch indicator is then added, which detects the presence of I said it detects the presence of small quantities of iodine that's still there. To get small I2 concentrations, it's going to detect it. Our starch indicator would change color once all the iodine is gone. So starch indicator turns colorless when all the iodine has reacted. ठीक है, तो remember कि iodometric titrations के अंदर ना it's just जो भी reaction होगा ना there would be iodine involved and you would have to detect the presence of iodine. You would have to ensure that all the iodine has reacted. And the problem with iodine is कि अगर उसकी concentration मतलब it's at higher concentration it appears yellow or brown. यहाँ पे show भी कर देते हैं कि अच्छा let me अच्छा so at higher concentration images 1 second. हाँ ये जिस तरह ना so अच्छा at higher concentration it appears brown. लेकिन it slowly जैसे जैसे आयोडीन खत्म होती रहेगी ना रिएक्शन के अंदर it would start turning colorless. But that colorless doesn't indicate that the reaction has stopped. There might be still iodine over here. जब इस point पे पहुंचोगे ना you're going to add a starch indicator जो कि blue हो जाएगा because of the presence of iodine. There would be still some iodine left. और फिर आप wait करोगे, titration आप continue करोगे, and then once that tiny amount of iodine is also gone, that the starch indicator would turn colorless. And that would indicate that the reaction has stopped. तो उसमें ना बीच में इंडिकेटर ऐड करना पड़ता है. शुरू में ऐड करने का फायदा नहीं है क्योंकि वो पहले ही नजर आ रहा है कि पहले तो आपको वैसे ही नजर आ रहा है कि आयोडीन प्रेजेंट है. You keep the reaction happening, आयोडीन की क्वांटिटी कम होती है, it becomes colorless. That's when you add the starch indicator और फिर आप टाइट्रेशन दोबारा कंटिन्यू करते हो. And once the starch indicator also says कि भाई अब आयोडीन खत्म हो गई है, so that is when you're going to stop the titration. ठीक है. अच्छा किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है अभी तक ये टाइट्रेशन की डिस्कशन. रिमेंबर कि इट्स ये जो माइनर जो छोटी बातें ये दैट्स इम्पोर्टेंट. और अच्छा इज दिस यहाँ तक इज दिस क्लियर
सर?
Yes, sir.
हाँ जी.
क्वेश्चन है
हाँ हाँ
सर, अगर ये हम कलरलेस पे ऐड करेंगे तो इसका सर ये चांस नहीं है कि हम एंड पॉइंट पहले क्रॉस कर जाए और उसके बाद हम स्टार्ट सॉल्यूशन ऐड
नहीं
करें?
नहीं इतना ना करो ना कि वो बस जिस पॉइंट के ऊपर ना वो येलो नजर आना बंद हो जाए ना उस पॉइंट पे ऐड कर दो ना
सर अगर
मतलब
इस
तुम
तरह थोड़ा पेल येलो अगर कलर हो तो उस पे ऐड
हाँ
करते हैं.
चलो हाँ उस पे ऐड कर दो. ठीक है. तो वो बस आयोडीन वाली जो टाइट्रेशन होती है ना उसके अंदर यू जस्ट हैव टू डिटेक्ट आयोडीन. तो उसकी मैं बस तो ठीक है वो सही है. ठीक है. तो चलो अब खत्म करते हैं क्योंकि मैंने काफी ज्यादा बोल लिए और टाइट्रेशन के ऊपर में काफी डिस्कशन कर लिए. अभी मैं ना एक पेपर ढूंढ के ना आई सेंड यू वन पेपर. ठीक है. छोटा सा पेपर होगा वो अभी खुद ट्राई कर लो थोड़ा सा. ठीक है. उसके अंदर ना बल्कि लेट मी अच्छा जस्ट वेट 1 सेकेंड. अगर बल्कि मैं इस बंद करके आई हैव टू फाइंड अ पेपर. ठीक है. जो टाइट्रेशन से रिलेटेड है. ये हमने टाइट्रेशन की डिस्कशन खत्म कर ली है काफी हद तक एंड आई थिंक द बोर्ड हैज क्रैश्ड. नहीं बोर्ड ही नहीं खोल रहा. खुल गया. चलिए ठीक है. I'll send you ये चीजें पता नहीं अभी फंक्शन नहीं करी सही. I'll send you a paper on titration. वो हम वैसे
Sir,
कर
I have
लेंगे.
a question.
हाँ जी.
Sir, before adding the starch, do we have to stop the titration and then add starch, or it's gonna
नहीं
we're gonna
obviously
add in between?
नहीं वो दोनों काम इकट्ठे तो नहीं कर सकते ना कि एक साइड से.
Sir, तो एक time पे stop होगा, we're gonna add the starch and then we're gonna start it again.
हाँ मतलब वो कंटिन्यू ही कर रही है ना. वो बस बीच में आपने ब्यूरेट का जो टैप है वो ऑफ कर दिया. बीच में 2-3 ड्रॉप स्टार्च के डाले हैं.
So that's
और
gonna take some time.
हाँ तो मतलब वो तो रिएक्शन तो अफेक्ट नहीं हो रहा ना. वो तो आप ऊपर से ब्यूरेट से कोई चीज ऐड करोगे तो रिएक्शन होगा ना. तो
Okay.
आपने वो बीच में टेम्पररी सस्पेंड कर दिया ना रिएक्शन.
Okay.
ठीक है. चलिए ठीक है. ये कंटिन्यू करते हैं. नेक्स्ट क्लास में मैं पेपर ढूंढ के ना आपको कोई आसान सा भेज देता हूँ. वो आप प्रैक्टिस कर लो. उसकी मैं probably recording बना के ना I'll send that as well. चले, okay then. Take care, Allah Hafiz.